Hey guys, it's Sharon, your life fulfillment coach. And something happened a few weeks ago that I'm a little bit ashamed of, but I've worked through it, I've moved past it, I've been able to let it go. But I felt like sharing this with you might help put things in perspective for you with something that you might be struggling with as well. So a few weeks ago, I attended a dance class, and I'm no stranger to the dance world. You know, I've been to a lot of drop-in, hip-hop, whatever classes. I also teach a cardio fitness dance class, so I'm definitely comfortable in that type of environment. And I went to this class, and it was the first time that I had been to this particular class at this studio, and I went. It was a pretty small room, pretty narrow, and I was near the front, and the instructor was in front of me, so I didn't have too much room to move forward. And then there were people behind me as well. And there were a couple times in the class where the girl behind me came up to me and she kind of physically sort of moved me. She was very sweet about it. She smiled. She was just like, "Sorry, do you mind moving forward?" And I was really annoyed. I found myself like full on wanting to give her the stink eye. I was like, who does she think she is? This is not my first time in a dance class. She's treating me as if this is my first time. Like, what is going on? Like, girl, I know what I'm doing. Don't tell me to move. I'm fully aware of my spatial awareness. Anyways, I started to have all these thoughts and started to have these really negative feelings towards her as well. And at first, it was all consuming, and then I took a second and I was like, Sharon, like, check yourself here. Like, what is going on? And what I started to realize when I started to analyze the situation a little bit was she was like this lightning rod that was triggering me in a way. And it had to do with my own ego, my own insecurities, whatever it may have been. It really had nothing to do with her. She was just causing those feelings and emotions to come up for me. And then I started to notice that I was also making all these assumptions around why she was even asking me to move. I was assuming that she didn't think I knew what I was doing. I was assuming that she thought that, or assumed that it was my first class, even though it was, but she wouldn't have known that. I figured that she may have thought that I wasn't aware of my surroundings, whatever it may have been. But I had to ask myself, how true are those things? And at the end of the day, I have no real proof. I'm not in her head. So they really are just assumptions that I'm making, but those assumptions were feeding the negative emotions that I was feeling. So if you find yourself in situations where you're just annoyed or frustrated at something, I encourage you to really ask yourself, first of all, what's the emotion I'm feeling right now? What's triggering it? What thoughts am I thinking about related to this emotion? Ask yourself, how many of them are you making assumptions about? And then ask yourself how true that actually is. And I find that when I took myself through that, I was able to then release all these negative emotions that I had towards her, because at the end of the day, I realized it has nothing to do with her. It has to do with me and how I'm feeling in this situation. So just some things to think about. I hope that my dance story can help you with anything that you're struggling with in the future. If you have any questions, always, I'm here. Feel free to email me at sharon@sharonstokes.ca, and I'll see you guys next week.